Buff Nation, what's going on? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We're here to give my big takeaways from Big 12 Media Day. We had Coach Prime and Shedeur Shiloh mainly talk with the media. I'm mainly going to talk about my takeaways from those interviews that we saw. You guys can see I got a different setup out here in Vegas for Summer League. Hey, Circa Hotels. I love this place. If you guys are looking for more sponsors, David Talks Buffs, David Talks Broncos, right? So let's go ahead and get into it, though. Absolutely loved Coach Prime's approach in his press conference. Some things that really stuck out to me is that I feel like he is more confident in this group than where we were at this point last year. Now, Coach Prime wasn't able to make it to Pac-12 Media Day last year because of that emergency surgery he had to have. Charles Kelly filled in for him, so this is pretty unique. Being able to hear him talk right now at this point in the off season before we get into fall camp. But it just seems like he's more relaxed. To me, it seems like he's more comfortable and he's more sure of what's happening with his team this year. I feel like everything, and that's what's going to happen when you completely overhaul an organization. It's going to take a year minimum to start really feeling comfortable, to make sure you got the right mix of guys on the roster, on the staff, and I think he spoke very, very highly of a lot of the people that have come in over this past year. I appreciated that. I think Robert Livingston's a really interesting hire. I think he's a bright mind, more than competent, more than qualified to be the defensive coordinator of this team. And Coach Prime, the way that he spoke about the defense instilled a lot of confidence. Same with the offensive line. We've also heard Shiloh talk a lot about the offensive line as well, saying, hey, it is a completely different feel. Like, these guys are mean. They are crazy. He called Khalil Benson the craziest of them all, which I think if you're watching any of the Well Off and Reach the People videos, you kind of know he's the one setting the tone for the offensive line. That's why I want to call him Psycho B. Khalil Benson, Psycho B. Like Tyler Hansbrough, Psycho T. But it doesn't seem to be sticking. Oh, well. So that was very interesting. The other thing that I wanted to say that some people have pointed out on Twitter, and I just think you never hear any trash talk from Coach Prime about any of the opponents on the schedule. We didn't have that last year going into the year, and we don't have it this year. Coach Prime keeping it classy, talking, about NDSU, North Dakota State, our first matchup, very highly. And I think it's funny, like Matt Rule's kind of taking a different approach now with how he's been talking about Colorado, really showing a lot of respect to Shedeur as well as Coach Prime, the rest of the Buffs. Of course, when you get blown out by us, you're going to do that. But it's crazy. Coach Prime never says anything to stir the pot with any of these opponents, and everybody seems to have an issue with it sometimes, man, which is sadly, it's just the world that we live in. Now, it was also very interesting hearing Shedeur talk. Again, I feel, I don't know if it's the haircut or something, but I feel like he got younger. Like, he looks younger in these press conferences. Do you guys feel that way? I kind of felt that way, but sounded, in my opinion, similar to Coach Prime, just more comfortable, more sure of himself. Not that he didn't come across as insanely confident, but you can tell he's settled in. You can tell that things just feel more cohesive this year when you hear him talk about the team, the personnel changes, all of that. And I love how he said that, hey, see you where everybody's Super Bowl every week. Absolutely right. Every single team on our list, on our schedule this year, I'm sure has our game scheduled or circled on the schedule, that this is going to be an important one to win. Just like we saw last year, we got everybody's best punch. We need to expect that this year. And I think having gone through what we went through last year, what the team went through, the guys who are returning, again, about 70-ish% of our production returning this year from 2023. I think we're going to be much better We're going to be persevering better. We're going to be tougher because of what we went through last year. So, overall, I thought that this was a really cool media day. I loved having Shiloh and Travis, or not Travis, Shiloh and Shedeur tag team it. It's always fun when they've done that, every now and then here at CU. But I think the biggest takeaways I think are the confidence, how comfortable they're feeling compared to when you look at this time last year, as well as, guys, that I can't not talk about it with what Shedeur was saying regarding Julian Lewis. How, hey, if he's here as a CU buff, he might be Coach Prime's next son, so to speak, right? Paraphrasing that. I don't think you see Shedeur come out there and talk about Julian Lewis like that if he's not going to be a buff. I just think he's more calculated than that, than to be saying something like that or to be posting that picture with the keys if something's not cooking up, right? At least that's how I feel about this whole thing. So, yeah, other takeaways regarding the conference as a whole, I absolutely love Brett Yormark's energy and his mentality with this conference. Is we're the third strongest conference right now in college athletics, but I'm not going to stop until we are the best. It's going to be interesting to see what capital investment they're able to bring in. If there's multiple investment firms that end up creating a bidding war, what that could do for a conference like the Big 12. Might some of that money be used to expand the conference with some of the ACC schools? We've heard Louisville, we've heard Miami as some of the probably the most popular two, most likely choices right now of ACC schools that could join the Big 12 eventually. I think both schools would be a phenomenal fit, guys. I would absolutely love not only to talk to Coach Hayes because he's a Miami Hurricanes fan, but because he would be a conference rival then. University of Miami going up against CU. I think that there's potential for a big time rivalry to be made if that's going to be the case. One other thing that I would like Brett Yormark to consider, again, he has to do things differently to bring in more money, is that the Big Ten and the SEC, they don't want to have preseason games. Granted, they wouldn't do the viewership numbers that the regular season will bring in for the Big 12, but I think that's something that he should consider. I would love to see CU have a preseason matchup, maybe against a conference opponent that they're not playing that year or something like that. They can arrange it that way. But to see how everybody looks from the starters to the third and fourth string teams, position players, right? I would love to see that. And you guys know how desperate we are for football come August. I would definitely tune in to watch my team play a preseason game. And right now, the month of August, it's just money left on the table right now for college football, for Brett Yormark in the Big 12, for CU. Right now, they air Little League. ESPN airs Little League during this time, guys. There's absolutely nothing going on. I would love it. Make it 3-4 weeks before the regular season starts. Maybe that's a little too generous, but have some buffer time before the regular season starts. I would love to see this whole team in action. And I wonder if that's something that we might see at some point. Introduction of a preseason game across the conference and bring in more money. So, y'all let me know your thoughts. Got some film rooms coming for you guys as I'm going to be here this weekend. Please be sure to let me know your takeaways on Big 12 Media Day. What do you think about some of these ideas? But 2024, we're due for our funnest season yet here at David Talks Buffs. It's only the second one, but we're going up and up, guys. Thank you so much. I'll be back tomorrow. Go Buffs.